There is a huge problem, YouTube. There is no respect for the people that make you who you are. With no creators, there is no YouTube. You realize how bad this looks for you, YouTube. You realize how unfair this comes across. YouTube, yeah, you might be a monopoly now. You might not have competitors that can really threaten you, but there will come one. They don't care about you until you reach a certain altitude, and even then, you still just a number to them.
CoryxKenshin is one of the most family-friendly gaming creators on the entire platform. The man does not swear. He bleeps out cursing in the actual games he plays. He has built an audience of over 20 million people over more than a decade by being genuinely wholesome, genuinely funny, and genuinely clean. And YouTube came for him, repeatedly, specifically. It pisses me off extra because Cory, 1, never swears, 2, actively censors out anything too extreme or sexual, 3, censors every swear word, all completely on his own. He makes it as family-friendly as possible with the games he plays, and it still gets targeted. And always at the exact same moment, right when he was doing his biggest numbers. This is the story of how one creator sat down, laid out his evidence, and forced $1 billion company to show exactly what it was made of.
The allegations I am levying towards YouTube are extremely serious, and I'm taking this video extremely seriously. YouTube, you guys either play favorites, you are, or it's a mix of the two. These are the 3 options, YouTube. Which one is it? Here's my proof.
Before the video that shook the internet, there was a quieter moment that set the entire thing up. Cory had been off YouTube for about 9 months. He came back, uploaded a video, and within 24 hours, he was #1 trending. The very next day, YouTube issued him a community guideline strike, not on anything he had just uploaded. They dug back almost 2 years into his catalog and found a 2019 Try Not to Laugh video that had been sitting on the platform without issue the entire time he was gone.
I got a community guideline strike, and I cannot tell you exactly why, because YouTube cannot tell me exactly why. And that is a problem. The video in question here is Try Not to Laugh number 8. They gave me the blanket term phrase of violates child safety.
The comment section suggests that this could be the exact reason as to why he is so inconsistent of late. Can't even blame Cory for not posting as much. Dealing with his personal life and a now weird YouTube must be stressful. The reason given was child safety. That was it. No timestamp, no explanation of what specifically crossed a line, just a blanket term and a takedown. And now the video was gone. Cory couldn't even go back and watch it to figure out what the problem was because they had already removed it from his channel entirely.
Now, thankfully, I keep an archive of every video I've ever uploaded just for situations like this, because they took down the video. I can't watch it anymore. I can't even go through and try to find out what part that is so utterly terrifying. And I can't do that because what was the first thing that I did when I got the email that I was getting a strike? What would you do?
He appealed. His partner manager Dom tried to fight for him. The appeal was rejected. And what made it worse was that Dom could only guess at what triggered it. His best estimate was a clip where someone in a video had pulled their phone down to the ground and then done something crude on camera. Something that in 2019, Cory himself admitted was a mistake he should have edited out.
Now, going back to my partner manager, Dom. Dom was able to extrapolate, estimate, guess, that's all that it really was, which part of the video he believes triggered all of this. Now let me recreate the infraction for you. Put the camera right there on the ground. So basically there was this person, he set his cell phone on the ground just like this, and then he's punching his phone, right? He's punching his phone. Now the last part is probably what did it. After he got done punching his phone, for some reason, he went ahead and did one of those things. Popped the squad right on the spot. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know why I didn't edit that out.
Fine, that is a fair point. But here's the thing. YouTube has a built-in editor that allows creators to go into any already published video and trim specific sections out. The video processes, and within a few hours, the clip is gone, the video stays up, and most viewers never even notice. If the problem was one small clip in a video that had been up for 2 years, YouTube could have sent Cory a timestamp and asked him to remove it. They didn't. They just struck the whole thing and refused to explain themselves. And this isn't a small channel. This is a creator with millions of subscribers, over a decade of content, and a spotless reputation for keeping things clean. There is an editor built into YouTube. There was no reason to shoot first and communicate never. What made it even more personal was something Cory brought up that a lot of people glossed over. When he hit 10 million subscribers, he was supposed to receive a diamond play button. YouTube never sent it. He had to reach out to them himself to even ask about it. He had to chase them for recognition of a milestone he had earned.
And even with the diamond play button, I had to reach out to you. I thought when you reach it, everyone just gets it. Had I not said anything, were you not gonna send me one? It's always me reaching to you. Where is your reaching out to us? The community, the creators. If there's anything, you update the app. You're updating things no one asked for. And everyone hates.
And then the very next day after they finally sent it, they issued him a strike.
How do you go from sending me a diamond play button to sending me a copyright strike the very next day? No communication.
No reaching out before the strike to say, hey, we noticed something in an old video, can you look into it? No communication at all. Just a sudden punishment with no context, no specifics, and no path forward other than accepting. He said it himself, and it landed because it was true. They don't care about you until you reach a certain altitude, and even then, you are still just a number to them.
They don't care about you until you reach a certain altitude, and even then, you still just a number to them.
Now here is the detail that turns this from frustrating into suspicious. During the 9 months Cory was completely off YouTube, not one of his videos was touched. No strikes, no flags, no age restrictions. Over 1,500 videos sitting on the platform and not a single problem. The moment he came back and started trending, suddenly a video from 2 years ago was a child safety issue. That timing is not a coincidence. That is a pattern, and it would repeat itself. The bigger incident, the one that made this a national conversation, started with a horror game called the Mortuary Assistant. Cory uploaded his gameplay and it exploded. It hit #1 trending worldwide, which for Cory was not even that surprising because he had done it multiple times before. His audience is one of the most loyal on the platform. The man can disappear for months and come back to millions of views within hours like he never left. But right after the video started doing those insane numbers, YouTube age restricted it. No explanation given. Cory spent over an hour scrolling through other creators who had uploaded gameplay of the exact same game at the exact same time. Nobody else was restricted, not one person.
I saw that all these other YouTubers were playing the Mortuary Assistant and only my video seemed to be age restricted. And I looked for like an hour, 2 hours. I was scrolling all different types of people's video. No one else's was age restricted.
He appealed the restriction. He genuinely did not understand what rule he had broken. YouTube's policy team rejected the appeal and doubled down. Their response was essentially that the video was restricted for good reason. They were not going to tell him what that reason was, and that was their final decision.
So I appealed the restriction. Hey guys, I'm not sure why mine got age restricted. Could you look into this? Appeal rejected. They doubled down. The policy team said, no, Cory, your video is restricted for good reason. We're not going to tell you why, but it's restricted. That's our final decision.
His YouTube rep, who is not part of the policy team, looked at the video and speculated that the issue was a scene near the end of the game where a woman is shown dealing with depression and self-harm themes.
He looked at my video and he said, hey, it could possibly be this part at the end where the woman was battling some depression, and I'm just gonna leave it there, lest this video also get age restricted just because I'm talking about it.
That was the rep's guess, not an official explanation. So Cory did the only logical thing. He went looking for other creators who had included that same scene. He found Markiplier, one of the biggest gaming channels on YouTube, a creator comparable to Cory in terms of channel size and platform presence. Markiplier's Mortuary Assistant video included the exact same scene. His video had no age restriction whatsoever.
So I looked at that part. The first thing I did was try to find other YouTubers who had that part, or at least a part similar. Now, Markiplier, I don't know if you'll ever see this, but I just want you to know I have a lot of respect for you, and I didn't mean to drag you into the middle of this. Your channel just happens to be a great reference point because A, you're a really big YouTuber, and B, you're not black. So I can look at your channel, and then I can look at my channel or look at anyone else's channel and make sure that the things in the games that you play, that they're enforcing the rules equally to everybody. So I go to Markiplier's Mortuary Assistant Part 3, and he had the same situation going on, and his video wasn't age restricted. So I send the video to my YouTube rep. I say, hey, Markiplier has this situation in his video, but his isn't age restricted. Could you send that to the policy team and see what they say about that? He said, wow, Cory, that's some astute detective work. Let me send this to them and see what they say. What do you think happened after that? I'll give you a second. They came back and they removed my age restriction. They took it off after they already rejected my appeal. I sent them the clip of Markiplier's video that has the same thing, and they removed it.
Cory sent the clip to his YouTube rep and asked him to forward it to the policy team with one simple question. Markiplier has this same content and his video is not restricted, so why is mine? His rep told him that was some astute detective work and sent it over. And then something happened that nobody expected. YouTube removed the age restriction from Cory's video. His rep was excited. He called Cory to tell him the good news. Cory's response was not relief. It was one word: why?
Now my YouTube rep, he was excited. He was, oh great, this is awesome. Look, Cory, they took the age restriction off. I said, why? I expected them to triple down and give Markiplier an age restriction too. But they looked at Mark's video and they used that to verify my innocence. So I send my YouTube rep a lengthy email detailing my feelings about the entire situation, feeling like there was some favoritism at play, there was either that or some racism at play, and that I would like to sit down with the policy team and figure out why my video was flagged in the first place. Actually, number one, was it automated or was it a human that age restricted it in the first place? Number two, who was the human reviewer? Because it's a human reviewer once you submit an appeal. Who was the human reviewer that doubled down and rejected my appeal? Number three, why did it take Markiplier's clip in order for them to reverse the decision?
Because think about what that removal actually meant. If Cory's video was genuinely violating policy badly enough to survive an appeal and have the policy team double down on it, then why did showing them Markiplier's video suddenly make it okay? The content of Cory's video did not change. The only thing that changed was that they were shown another creator doing the same thing and getting away with it. That means the restriction was never about the content. It was about Cory specifically. And the moment that became undeniable, YouTube didn't address it. They didn't apologize, they didn't explain, they quietly removed the restriction and acted like that was the end of it. His rep promised to keep the dialogue going with the policy team and try to get him those answers. A couple of days went by, and then the situation went from suspicious to absolutely damning.
So another day, another 2 days go by, and what do you know? They re-age restricted the video. They re-age restricted the video. I say, no way did they do that. I go to Markiplier's video now, and now his video is age restricted. They got caught with their pants down. They got called out, and then they had to go back and say, oh, whoa, okay, we see the narrative that he's kind of pushing here. We need to take some steps back. We need to just age restrict them both and be done with it. You thought that I wasn't gonna talk about this, make a video about it?
They had been caught being inconsistent, they had been confronted with evidence they could not explain, and rather than acknowledge that or offer a genuine explanation, their solution was to go back and restrict both videos so it would look like they were just enforcing things equally all along.
I, in all my years, have never seen a video get age restricted, de-age restricted, and then age restricted again. Have any of you ever seen that happen before?
Quick word from our today's sponsor, Pop Vibe.
Looking for real vibes? Welcome to Pop Vibe, the next generation of social networking. It's designed to connect you through entertainment, community, and real-time interaction. Experience live shows and trending discussions exactly as they happen around you. Experience the pulse of your city. From trending gossip to the best local happenings, discover it all as it happens. This is where participation leads to real connection. Join the conversation and be part of the vibe. Be part of a digital community where every single voice is heard. Join the movement at popvibe.live. Download the app now and let's connect.
To get the same experience, click the link in the description to get started for free. That does not happen by accident. That is a deliberate decision made by someone who saw what Cory was pointing at and decided the cleanest way to handle it was to cover the evidence rather than explain it. He was open about the seriousness of what he was saying. He acknowledged that accusing a company of racism is an enormous claim and that he could not prove it with absolute certainty. He said if he was wrong, he would retract the video entirely and make a public apology to YouTube. His dad had raised him to be a man about his mistakes, and he had no problem doing that.
But I can tell you the people on that policy team, those shadow people that are anonymous and get to enact their will however they see fit. How can we be sure that they take a black person's video and a white person's video and it can be the same exact video and they restrict the black person's video but not the white person's video? I feel I've been mistreated for a long time. I mean, even when we hit 10 million subscribers and I was supposed to get my diamond play button and there was no correspondence. These situations always coincide with an uptick of growth. And it always just comes off like we can't let this black guy get too high up. I mean, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm telling you, that's how it comes off. I don't see any other YouTuber that gets #1 trending many times and then all of a sudden they're getting age restricted and they're getting copyright strikes and all of that. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Point them out. I want to see them. I'll retract this entire video. I'll make a public apology to YouTube. I have no problem. My dad taught me if you make a mistake, be a man and address it and apologize. I will do that, no problem. But to me, you know what it comes off? It comes off whenever CoryxKenshin starts doing some crazy numbers or getting on trending too much. We got to find something. We got to get him for something. He's got to have done something. I mean, I bleep out cuss words in video games. Like, I literally...
But he laid out what he could prove. Same game, same scene, same platform. One video restricted, one not. The restricted one was his. And every time a situation like this had happened, it was always right when he was gaining the most traction. He pointed out that he didn't see any other creator at his level who consistently hit #1 trending and then consistently got copyright struck and age restricted every single time they came back from a break. He invited anyone to show him that example. Nobody could. He pointed to the YouTube front page, logged out. The people YouTube promoted every single day by default. He asked people to count how many were black. And then he pointed to YouTube Black, the platform's initiative to spotlight black creators, and called it what it was, condescending.
I believe there is some racism involved within the policy team, and YouTube in general really doesn't care about black people like that. They got their favorite creators. You know, log out of YouTube. Log out and go to YouTube. You'll see the people on the front page every single day. You'll see the favorites. Count how many are black, count how many are of people of color. So then what does YouTube try and do? They try and peddle YouTube Black. They try and give us a spotlight. And do you know how condescending and patronizing that is? Oh yeah, let's give a spotlight to these black creators because we're all about diversity. All this communicates is black people aren't good enough on their own skill, on their own merits, on their own talent. So we got to give them a spotlight. We got to come down and raise them up so they can get some spotlight action.
Because if black creators needed a separate spotlight to be seen, what that actually communicated was that the platform did not believe they could get there on their own merits. He had spent over a decade building one of the biggest communities on YouTube. He did not need a spotlight. He needed the same rules to apply to him that applied to everyone else. That was it. That was the whole ask. And YouTube could not even give him that. Jacksepticeye saw this video, texted Cory directly. This is what his message said. "Get him, King. Sorry you've had to deal with all of this. It's exhausting trying to guess how YouTube will handle content these days." And then made his own video about it. And what Jack brought to the conversation is what made this impossible for anyone to wave away. Because Jack is a white creator who openly acknowledged his own privilege on the platform. And he still corroborated almost everything Cory had experienced from his own channel. The moment other large creators started looking at their own experiences through the same lens as Cory, what they found was not reassuring. It was the same story told slightly differently. Different creators, different games, different videos, but the same broken system, the same lack of communication, and the same pattern of inconsistent enforcement that always seemed to land harder on certain people than others. And the fact that this was coming from creators across the board, not just black creators, not just small creators, but some of the biggest names on the platform, made it very difficult for anyone to dismiss what Cory had been saying. Jacksepticeye came into this from a place he was very honest about. He is a white man on the internet, one of the biggest gaming creators on YouTube, and he has a YouTube representative he can call when something goes wrong. He said it clearly.
I mean, let's face it, I come from a place of immense privilege being a white man on the internet, so I can't speak for the racist side of things, but
he comes from a place of immense privilege on this platform. He could not speak to the racism side of things from personal experience, but he could speak to the favoritism side because he had lived it too, and what he described was uncomfortable even for him to acknowledge. Jack's girlfriend Evelyn uploads videos in the same room as him. They play the same games, cover the same content, and upload at similar times. And on multiple occasions, her videos would get flagged or age restricted for the same games his videos covered, while his stayed completely clean. Sometimes his would get flagged a few days later, sometimes not at all.
But at the same time, it highlights a huge problem on the platform, and I want to talk a little bit about that, not just Cory's case, but my sort of experiences with it as well, because the amount of times, and I have very good evidence of this as well, because I have a girlfriend who does the exact same job as me in the other room, and a lot of times we upload the same games. And this has happened a couple of times now where we'll both upload the same game, her video will get flagged or claimed or something like that, and mine will be totally fine. And then she's wondering why mine is clear, and I'm also like, yeah, that's so weird. Why is mine suddenly fine? Like, did they just not flag me because I'm a bigger creator? And then sometimes a couple of days will go by and then I'll get flagged for it. But it's like, why did hers get flagged instantly and mine didn't? Because she got flagged for the Mortuary Assistant as well, got age restricted for the same scene, and it took days before mine did. When you think, if it's supposed to be that obvious that it's in the system and these types of scenes are happening and they get auto-flagged by this system, shouldn't it be consistent across everybody's?
She uploaded the Mortuary Assistant and got age restricted for the exact same scene that triggered Cory's restriction. Jack's video on the same game took days before it got flagged. If the system was genuinely automated and content-based, both videos should have been flagged at the same time. They weren't, and Jack did not want to be the one getting away with it. He said directly that he did not want special treatment because he was a bigger creator.
I don't want special treatment because I'm a bigger YouTuber. I don't want special treatment because I've been on the platform for a while, or maybe my content has been a bit more palatable to a lot of people and I don't like rock the boat.
But it seemed like that was exactly what was happening and he had no control over it. He also brought up something that had happened between Moist Critical and Markiplier a couple of years before Cory's situation, which turned out to be almost a dry run for the exact same pattern. Charlie had uploaded a video containing a clip that Markiplier had also used in one of his own videos. Charlie got a full community guideline strike. Markiplier got nothing. When Markiplier found out, he made a video asking where his strike was, essentially demanding YouTube treat the two of them equally. And YouTube's response was not to remove Charlie's strike. Their response was to give Markiplier a strike as well.
Now, if you've been around my channel for a while, you might remember I went through an almost identical situation a couple years ago. I made a video on a fake road rage incident and got an entire strike for it from YouTube, a policy guidelines strike from YouTube for it. And I found that exact same clip that I was talking about in one of Markiplier's videos that wasn't age restricted, demonetized, or anything. I was so angry, I was wiggling in rage. I was so upset I couldn't sit still in my chair, so I made this video talking about it, and then I made a big stink on Twitter. And Markiplier actually came to my rescue, like a fucking hero of justice, a symbol, like Batman. He came in and said, "Fair is fair, where is my strike, YouTube?" And YouTube responded, not by getting rid of my strike, but by striking Markiplier's video as well. So now both of us ended up with a strike.
Not fix the injustice, spread the punishment so it looked even. That is the same thing they did to Cory and Markiplier with the Mortuary Assistant. The response to being caught being inconsistent was never accountability. It was always cover. They would rather punish an additional innocent person than admit the original decision was wrong. And eventually, after enough noise was made, both strikes were rescinded, with YouTube calling it an overreaction and a mistake on their part.
and Markiplier made a video talking about that, and eventually YouTube decided to rescind both strikes, saying that it was an overreaction to things and it was a mistake on their part. But obviously you can see the problem here. They're not enforcing their rules equally across the platform, and they're just not enforcing them properly at all. There was no reason that video should have ever resulted in a strike by any stretch of imagination.
But the fact that their first instinct was to double down rather than correct themselves told you everything about how that policy team operates. Moist Critical made his own video specifically covering Cory's situation, and he made one point that completely dismantled any argument that this was just YouTube protecting its brand. Some people tried to suggest that Markiplier got more leniency because he was more advertiser friendly than Cory. Charlie shut that down immediately. Markiplier swears in his videos. He says words Cory has never once said on camera in over a decade of content. Cory bleeps out cursing in the games he plays. He goes out of his way to make his content accessible to younger audiences, even when playing horror games. By every measurable standard, Cory is the more advertiser-friendly creator. If YouTube was simply making decisions based on what was safest for their brand, Cory would be the one getting the lighter treatment every single time. The fact that the opposite was happening could not be explained by content alone. Something else was at play, and Charlie was willing to say it out loud. Jack also spent a significant amount of time talking about the appeal system and what he believed was fundamentally broken about it. He described uploading a video, having it flagged, appealing it, getting it cleared by what was supposedly a manual human review, uploading it, and then having it flagged again days later. No explanation for why the second reviewer overrode the first. No communication about which part of the video was the problem. Just a flag, then a clearance, then another flag, with nobody at YouTube apparently talking to each other about any of it. He brought up a specific instance where a video of his got flagged and his YouTube rep looked into it and came back saying it might have been because the auto-generated captions had underscores in them, the same underscores YouTube uses to censor swear words. And the system may have interpreted that as Jacksepticeye swearing when he wasn't.
And one of my instances was that I can't remember the video off the top of my head right now, but I got it flagged. Then I went to my YouTube rep about it and they put it into the system and were like, yeah, that's weird. Why did that happen? And then it came back and it was greenlit and they were like, we don't know what happened, but what might have been the cause is that something in the auto captions had like underscores in it. And whenever YouTube want to censor swear words, it puts underscores into the auto generated captions. So it might have thought that I was swearing where I wasn't swearing and auto-flagged the video.
That is the level of precision, or rather the complete lack of it, that is deciding whether creators can make money or not. An underscore in an auto caption, and nobody tells you that is the problem. You just lose the momentum of your upload window and have no idea why. The upload window point is important, and Jack made it clearly.
Is a massive issue whenever you upload a video and most of your views come within the 24-hour period that it's uploaded, and then maybe it hits the algorithm later and takes off. But a lot of my views come in that first 24-hour period or 48 hours. And if something like that happens immediately, it crushes the video. It can't really take off again as much as it probably once could.
The majority of views on a YouTube video come in the first 24 to 48 hours after it goes live. That is when the algorithm pushes it, when subscribers see it, when it has the best chance of gaining traction and being recommended to new people. If a video gets flagged in that window, even temporarily, it gets recommended less. It gets pushed to fewer people. It loses the momentum it cannot get back. And for creators without a YouTube rep, that flag just sits there. No appeal path that actually works. No human to call. Just a quiet suppression that most viewers never even notice, but the creator feels immediately in their numbers. Jack pointed out that there are a huge number of creators out there who are almost certainly getting hit with restrictions that should never have been applied. And because they don't have representation, they have no way to fight it and no way to even find out what caused it. This is the two-tier system that both Cory and Jack kept coming back to. YouTube reps only exist for creators above a certain level. Below that threshold, you are entirely at the mercy of an automated system and an anonymous policy team that will not explain their decisions and cannot be reached for comment. Cory said it better than anyone. Imagine this happening to someone with 10,000 subscribers or 1,000. What can they do? There is nobody to call, nobody to email, nobody to escalate to. Their video just stays flagged, their channel stops growing, and they never find out why. He had over 10 million subscribers and a partner manager, and even he almost hit a wall. The system is not broken for everyone equally. It is broken in a way that consistently protects the people who already have the most and leaves everyone else completely exposed. Jack also addressed the creative damage this kind of environment causes, and he was more honest about it than most creators his size would be.
You're just sitting there with it in limbo, wondering if the next thing you upload is actually going to get flagged as well, and you're second guessing everything. And that sort of like second guessing of stuff has really killed my sort of creativity when it comes to content, or like it just pulls me out of it. Whenever I'm recording something and I'm thinking, man, is this going to get flagged? Do I have to edit this out? And all of these filters going through my brain just kind of like pulls me out of the moment and pulls me out of my own content, where I just want to sit here and have fun and record stuff.
Cory comes from the same school of YouTube as Jack. Just start in your room, play games, have fun with your audience, make people laugh. That is the whole thing. And when that becomes something you have to overthink before every upload, the fun goes out of it. The very thing that made YouTube what it is starts to disappear. It's absolutely heartbreaking and insane how what was supposed to be a platform where people can share, create, communicate, be part of a great community, and enjoy themselves has become a place full of ridiculous problems. Jack followed his first video with a second one after meeting with his YouTube rep to give feedback. He had brought a lot of the community's concerns to that conversation and tried to give constructive suggestions rather than just venting. One of his main proposals was simple: extend the timestamp system that already exists for copyright claims to every form of content restriction. When a copyright claim is filed, YouTube now tells creators the exact section of the video being claimed. They can go into the editor, trim that section, and resolve the issue. Jack argued that age restrictions and ad suitability flags should work the same way. Tell creators exactly what section triggered the flag. Let them fix it. Stop making people guess at what they did wrong and then punishing them when they guess incorrectly. He also flagged something that had happened to Markiplier in a completely separate incident that revealed just how badly YouTube's internal departments were communicating with each other. YouTube held an event called Game On, and Markiplier was featured in the marketing for it. His face was in the trailer, he was promoted in articles, he tweeted about it, telling people to watch. And then, when the event streamed, his main segment was gone, completely cut. He found out by watching the stream the same way everyone else did. He was tweeting in real time, asking if they had actually cut his section. Jack believed this was not a deliberate act of censorship toward Markiplier for making the age restriction challenge video. He said YouTube simply does not work fast enough for that. What it was instead was the marketing team, the programming team, and the content team all operating in completely separate silos without talking to each other, which meant a creator they were publicly using to promote an event had his content removed without anyone thinking to tell him or to check whether the people promoting him knew it had happened. That is not malice. That is a company so large and so poorly coordinated internally that its own departments do not know what the other departments are doing. And that is almost more terrifying than deliberate targeting, because at least deliberate targeting has a person behind it you can point to. What all of this built toward was a conclusion that was hard to argue with. Cory's original video stayed at #1 trending on YouTube for a full day. A video accusing YouTube of racism and favoritism on YouTube's own platform. YouTube said nothing publicly. No response, no statement, no acknowledgement. They flagged it for ad suitability the moment it went live, which Cory noted in a pinned comment immediately. This video was immediately flagged for ad suitability. I wonder why. Surely it isn't because it's YouTube being shown in a poor light? Surely not. That comment got 381,000 likes. YouTube still said nothing. And then years later, when Cory came back and uploaded his Resident Evil Requiem gameplay, the same thing happened again. The video was age restricted. Markiplier played the same game. IShowSpeed played the same game. Burleezy played the same game. None of them were restricted. And to make it even more pointed, Cory had been sponsored by the game's own developers to play it, meaning the people who made the game had specifically chosen him to promote it, while YouTube simultaneously restricted his video of it. The community went straight back to the original racism and favoritism video, and the comment sections came alive again. The pattern had not stopped. It had just waited for the next time he came back and started doing numbers. We watch YouTube because of good videos, not because of YouTube. Cory built his channel from nothing over more than a decade. He bleeps out cursing in video games. He is, by every measurable standard, the least likely candidate on this platform to be repeatedly flagged, struck, and restricted. He never asked for special treatment. He asked for the same rules to apply to him that applied to everyone else. He said if he was wrong, he would apologize publicly and retract everything. Nobody ever gave him a reason to. And YouTube, the company with all the answers, the policy team, the reps, the algorithm, the ability to restrict and unrestrict a video 3 separate times in the span of a week, never said a word. Subscribe for more deep dives. Do you think this is the reason why Cory is inconsistent with his uploads of late?